What's up guys? In today's video we're going to paint this washer. I'm going to go through my basic techniques of how I like to prep and paint, and I've done this for a very long time. If you don't know my channel, I do appliance refurbing, so I've done this to probably over 1,000 machines, sanding them and repainting them. And a lot of times you don't have to do a lot of sanding, and this machine is one of those you don't have to do a lot of sanding to. If you have to do a lot of sanding, sometimes it might be better to have a hand sander or I had a wire brush on a grinder that worked really well for the really bad ones, but this one's not bad at all. So first step is do not be inside or anywhere near vehicles. If you're going to be inside, it's going to be a lot more difficult. You can do it, but you'll have to tape off and plastic off all around it because overspray will just get on everything. It's a nightmare to get off. It's a lot easier if you go outside, and I've carried this over behind my house because I don't want this to get on my vehicles. Overspray goes a lot further than you think it does. All right, so that's step one. Step two is prep work. You're going to sand anything that's a little bit of rust. Just go ahead and hit all the little spots, and it's hard to see here, but I've done everything already. Just hit them real hard, and then I'm gonna go over the entire washer real quick, just kind of barely roughing it up. I'll do the entire thing. After that, you're gonna have to do the cleaning. I prefer not to use any chemicals when I clean because afterwards you'll have to make sure there's no residue left over. So if it's not super bad, it's much better just to use a wet towel or washcloth and wipe it off with that, and then use a dry washcloth and dry the whole thing off. Wait a few minutes, make sure it's really good and dry so the paint sticks really well. You want no moisture. Putting it in the sun is best, and then you're ready to paint. On washer machines, you can flip the heads back by, this machine has a little point here you can push and it releases it, and you pull that forward and the head flips up. Another trick to make it a lot easier is just wrap it in saran wrap, and then you're good to go. Like, you're talking like 20 cents worth of saran wrap and you're ready to go. Past that, we're going to go into how to paint. Make sure you shake this can extremely well. Don't just shake it for a few seconds. You really got to shake this for about a minute or two, or you will get a horrible finish. It will leave like a white clearish coat on top. It will just ruin it. So make sure you shake this for at least 2 minutes, and also obviously wear a face mask. I see a lot of people make mistakes on this, and basically you want to go not too far. I would not do this entire thing at once. I would do half, and I would go from here a little bit past the halfway point, and I would go spray, release, spray, release, spray, release. The idea behind this is if you constantly hold it down, when you get to the end, even though you're going fast, you're putting a lot more paint down on your ends than you are on the crosses. So you're gonna have a thick coat here, a thick coat here, and a correct coat in the center. So you want it all to be consistent. So spray, release when you come back, spray, release, spray, release. I'll go all the way to the bottom, and you can put it on a brick so it doesn't get so much paint on the ground when you get to the bottom. And then I'm gonna do the other half. I'll start up here, and I'll do this whole thing, and then I'll look at it and see if it's thick enough. You don't want it to run, but you also don't want to triple coat this thing, which you'll see a lot of people that will recommend doing a light coat for spray paint and then letting it dry, and then doing a light coat, let it dry, then light coat. I do not recommend that. I've had nothing but issues trying that method with this type of spray paint. I think that probably works well for different spray paints, but this type tends to dry, and then the second coat tends to want to peel off the first coat. It dries weird. I've tried it several different ways. I think one thick coat is by far the best look. Just not so thick that it runs. All right, guys, past that, it's pretty much let it dry and don't touch it. Bugs is a bit of an issue, so you don't want to be anywhere where a bunch of bugs are getting on things. If you notice there's a lot of gnats and stuff around, you may want to paint it, let it air out for a second, and then put your dolly behind it and bring it inside. It's gonna smell a little bit, but it'll be a lot better than having a million little gnats all over it stuck to the paint, ruining your perfect paint job with bugs. All right, so some quick pro tips at the end. Anywhere you see that it has a little bit of see-through, immediately put a little bit of paint before you let it dry. So I'll hit a little bit right there. If you see a run like this, that's fixable right now. So while it's wet, I'm gonna take a cloth cleanly. It's hard to do while I'm looking through the camera. Just dab that area, take up all the excess paint, and I'm going to take the spray paint and I'm going to respray paint that little spot. It looks horrible right now, but when I respray paint it, it'll all self-level because everything's still wet. This is not fixable after you have let it dry. So this is when you do it. Another pro tip, if you use lotion on your arms, the overspray comes off your arms a whole lot easier. So just put a lotion on beforehand and you can wash it right back off afterwards. But that's about it, guys. Any tips or tricks that anybody has, please put them down in the comments below. I promise I'll start making videos again. I've been taking a bit of a break, kind of doing some real estate stuff. But until next time, see y'all later.